Good afternoon. It's afternoon here. Continuing on with my little theme of comparing messages coming from the Bible and from the Bhagavad Gita. I have here something of interest. I noticed the other day in the Bible reading this quote here from 2 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 16 to 18. Says, "So we do not lose heart, though our outer self is wasting away. Our inner self is being renewed day by day. For the slight momentary affliction is preparing for us an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison, as we look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen." And then you've got the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 20, which says, "The soul is neither born, nor does it ever die, nor having once existed, does it ever cease to be. The soul is without birth, eternal and immortal and ageless. It is not destroyed when the body is destroyed." So they both agree that the body ultimately gets destroyed. It wears away, it's perishable, it doesn't last. In the Corinthians 1, they said, our outer self is wasting away, and that's just normal aging process. And even if we don't go through aging, we might go through a car crash or something. Anything could happen, disease. So we know that the outer self is not to be relied upon. And yet in exact contrast to that, we're told, this is from the Bhagavad Gita, that the soul is ageless and is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. So whether the body gets destroyed by wasting away, as in Corinthians, by old age, or whether it gets destroyed by war or disease or accident, the soul is ageless and immortal. And that is the same message in Corinthians, that the inner self is renewed day by day. Eternal glory beyond all comparison. Look to the things that are unseen. So the message we've been told in both cases is, what should we focus on in our daily lives? Should we be focusing on the body, material things, the house, the car, the possessions, the jewelry, the garden, even the clothing, and the state of the body, and keeping it young and keeping it this and keeping it that? None of those things are going to last, and none of those things are going to be eternal with us. The part of us that's eternal, the unseen part of us that's eternal and ageless and immortal and cannot be in any way hurt or touched, is the soul. And so we need to focus on the part of us that goes with us. So when the outer body lets us down and fails, that doesn't go with us, but our soul does. So we need to spend our lives focusing on getting the soul ready for the next step. Yes, there is some disagreement between say Christian and Hare Krishna people about what the next step might be. The Christians tend to sort of have it as you go to hell or you go to heaven. It's a bit more nuanced than that in the Eastern philosophy, where it's like, well, your soul is eternal. It has always existed. And so it goes through different incarnations in different material bodies. It doesn't really matter what these two paths are saying, because in the end, the destination, the goal, the place where the soul really wants to be and really should be is back on the spiritual plane living spiritual life. And both texts agree on that they may call it heaven, they may call it the kingdom of God, they may call it Godhead, back to Godhead. But that's the goal. And so there's no way that focusing on temporary things, impermanent things like the body, can do that for us. So here again I find beautiful collaboration, beautiful crossover, beautiful continuity and consistency of message between what many people think are two very different religions, but actually I love drilling down to the core message. They are the same. So thank you for listening. Hare Krishna.